Cars. We drive them, we buy them, and we admire them. But where did this all start? Like most things, it started with Leonardo da Vinci. In 1478, he drew a sketch of a self-propelled car, but it was never built. This is the first time we saw a record of vehicular innovation, something that the world state would definitely throw away. In 1769, Nicolas Joseph Cugnot built the first self-propelled road vehicle in France. This slow French army car moved at about 2.5 miles an hour. Even though the vehicle was insanely slow, it made military efforts less labor-intensive. In 1885, Carl Benz built the first automobile powered by a gasoline engine. It had 3 wheels and looked like a carriage. This successful invention allowed society to begin imagining a world with gasoline-powered automobiles. This sparked innovation among inventors worldwide. 11 years later, the Duryea brothers start the first American car manufacturing company called Motor Wagons. This company started the car manufacturing industry in America, which offered new jobs to people, which would improve their quality of life. In 1909, cars with 35 horsepower engines were on the roads. However, less than 1,000 were produced per year. Cars became a figure of status in society due to their price and rarity. So if this were the world state, only alphas would have them. In 1913, Ford's Model T cars were produced at 146 cars an hour because of the assembly line, leading to the American domination of the automobile industry, which produced 80% of the world's cars. Model Ts were sold for $575, which was less than the average wage. Ford achieved a godlike status in Brave New World because of his use of the assembly line, which strongly aligned with the world state's values of efficiency. In 1921, the headrest was invented to reduce cerebral trauma. Vehicles became safer, which in turn increased car production and sales. In 1924, the car radio was introduced. People became informed more efficiently as they could hear the news in their car rather than waiting for a newspaper. They could also listen to music and have a more enjoyable driving experience. In 1940, the first all-purpose four-wheel drive vehicle was designed for the U.S. military, the Jeep. This costed $29 billion, which was 1/5 of the nation's production cost for the war. But after the war, civilians were able to buy Jeeps, which contributed to the American domination of the automobile industry. And they're still extremely popular today. In 1956, the Interstate Highway Act was put in place, allowing the creation of highways which connected all parts of the United States. Having a car started to become a social norm to the point that people were expected to drive a distance to their job on the highways. The highways allowed people to maintain relationships and jobs at a longer distance. In a way, this is very similar to the helicopters in Brave New World. In the 90s, all cars were required to have seatbelts and airbags. As a result of these inventions, fewer people experienced life-changing injuries from car accidents. Sunroofs, electric doors, electric windows, and CD players began to gain popularity, making cars more comfortable and convenient. The GPS was also introduced, which allowed drivers to safely navigate long distances. And that brings us to the present day, where we have the largest variety of cars in all of history. I think that Huxley would have liked the freedom that cars provide. However, the assembly line seems to be what truly scared him, as we can see through the portrayal of the Bokanovsky process. Cars are a symbol of the need for efficiency in our modern society, but efficiency was a core value of the world state. So what other values do we share? Is our world slowly becoming our own version of Brave New World?